Hey, so this is going to be a little bit of a weird video. Originally, this video was going to be a showcase of my favorite Survivor perk build that's free for all Survivor players when they first start the game. But then it just kind of turned into sort of a stream of consciousness thought process of what it's like to play in solo queue as a high-houred, Dead by Daylight player. So honestly, I just kind of rambled at first about my perk build and trying to get value out of my perks, and then it just kind of went more along the lines of here's my experiences, here's how I have this mentality. And I will be making a killer video about a killer video for the inversion of this for Survivor. So enjoy the matches, and I will see you all in the video. So you may be wondering, Indy, why are you making a Survivor video? Well, with the upcoming release of Five Nights at Freddy's, I kind of figured that may as well show a little bit of Survivor content for once, but also because I figure people who are brand new to the video game would like to get a little bit of advice. So I loaded in without an item, so I just found a toolbox, or rather a box, an item chest to plunder from. And also, like, I have over 5,000 hours in the game, which I think I just mentioned, and I have a lot of, like, almost intrinsic knowledge to playing the game, so I've played on every single map. That is a Wraith, unfortunately. A Silent Bell, interesting. Although he hits me here again, I think. I'd rather get to a window that makes it hard for him to catch up to me with. So, with Wraith, he cloaks up and he's invisible, so if you need to heal somewhere, try to heal at a pallet, and wait a moment to make sure he's not, like, chasing you down. And he is here for me, unfortunately. Try to identify your pallets, especially your god pallets. And honestly, it doesn't even matter if you need to pre-drop or do anything special. And because I have balanced landing, I can get more distance just by doing this, by dropping down the hole, which gets me back up to a really strong pallet upstairs, or if he's smart, he'll double back on me. Like this. Yeah! Smart man. What the hell? Oh my goodness, he's on ping. Yeah, while you're hooked, you can see all of your teammates' auras infinitely. But as I'm unhooked, I'll only be able to see Nancy's aura as she heals me. So I'm basically giving I'm trying to give a lot of tips and just, like, sort of, like, my intrinsic knowledge with playing DBD, where a lot of my looping expertise and being able to play Survivor, especially Soloq, because I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of, like, FNAF content creators were just now getting into playing, like, DBD because of Springtrap coming to DBD. And thankfully I've been able to very, like, just intrinsically know the, like, sort of, like, items, add-ons for, like, nearly 40 killers. And, like, basically all, like, 200, 300 total perks now. There's just so much. But, oh, and he's here again? Yeah, I heard Wraith, despite him being invisible, you can hear him. Because he makes a little with his, like, breathing. So I get hit here, but I'm gonna try to make it to, an elevation, which would be here, maybe? No. But I'm far away from my teammates, so I wouldn't be interrupting anything. And that's blocked off, unfortunately, so I'm just gonna have to mosey on down here. Oh, that's a totem. What are you doing there? Here, have that. That's yours. For free, my friend. Let me get to this two-story house here. Little safer for me. Yeah, while he's cloaked up, he's much faster than most killers are. I think I make this. And he whiffs that, thankfully. What the hell? Why did you cloak up? You're crazy. Well, I'm on a pallet, so hopefully I can get saved. Oh my god, that actually worked. That's crazy. Thank you, Nancy. Unfortunately, I've not been able to really show off, like, the other two perks, but with balanced landing, I was able to gain distance and get to a safe-ish pallet, which then my teammate was able to get to, and because of Bond, I was able to find Soma for him to save me. Even though I have a medkit, but because the medkit was partially used, I can't fully heal myself, so I'll be using it with my teammates. Since Soma was next to me, I know that Ash is working away at a generator. Alright, I'm gonna use my medkit to make this an extra fast heal, hopefully. I'm gonna tickle that totem, because I'm kind of nervous about that. Yep, there it is. Hopefully, I don't think he has Undying. Well, let's hope not, because Devour is extremely strong on, like, an M1 like this. Okay. And that is Ash in basement, unfortunately. Okay, well, I'm gonna drop down and get him, so... So using Balance Landing, I can get to Ash very quickly. And then both Ash and I can honestly just heal up right here in the basement for free, because I have the faster healing speed on my medkit. And there we go. But also, I'm also, like, saying all these things to make it better for me to, Brother, excuse me. Oh my goodness, that's unfortunate. Alright, just walking off my exhaustion. I think I'll simply unhook him right now. Because I do have borrowed time. He should be fine. Especially if he gets tunneled, oh my goodness! Hopefully he'll be safe, but I think he's gonna run out of borrowed time in a second, so I'm gonna trail behind him. No, he's gonna trail behind me. Do you have Ed, perhaps? Yep, I was about to say, do you perhaps have Ed? Oh, I don't think I'll get saved, and that's okay. Like, that's the thing with, like, these kinds of games. Sometimes you get saved, sometimes you don't. Which I wouldn't mind if I got left behind at this point. I did my job of, like, making sure, like, one of my teammates got out, you know, saving them just in time. Unless they can find the totem. Someone getting forced out, it looks like. Although, if Nancy is crazy enough, I could just run for the exit gate. Yeah, I can just run for it. Oh, but if only she had borrowed time, I think I probably would have made it a little better. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, Ash made it out. Yay. I genuinely did not expect to get a 4-man out of that. Oh, shit! Unfortunately, I didn't really get... I kind of showcased all of my, perks, but, like, with Soma, with Borrowed Time, someone was able to, book it farther for longer. And this is why I love Borrowed Time, because with Borrowed Time in Endgame, like, you keep your haste for longer and you run farther, so it's just really, really good. I think what's also really interesting in playing Soloq here is that you kind of get, like, a really interesting perspective of, like, your mindset playing with other players and other teammates. And on various maps, you kind of just gotta identify which generators are, like, you know, pretty safe. Like, this one is very safe for me, but only because I have Balanced Landing. And it's a Skull Merchant, hello. So I can kind of just hover back here and get a lot of distance, perhaps even to Shack. Yes, straight to Shack. So I will just make my distance to Shack, especially because Skull Merchant is only an M1 killer. She doesn't have any traversal abilities. But unfortunately, I might be interrupting a teammate here, so I'm gonna hop on her generator, and hopefully Ada will be able to last a little while. Okay, so I saw a little bit of smoke in the distance, which means the Skull Merchant has Surge. Okay, she's heading after me, it looks like, unfortunately. I'll just have to run far away. Unless she decides to come after me? What's going on? And because it's Skull Merchant, she has drones, which can scan you, and once you're scanned 3 times, you become broken for approximately 30 seconds. Oh dear, Ada. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to make... I wonder if Ada's trying to give up, unfortunately. We've been having a pandemic of people just giving up and going next. Because I saw her heal herself, which cancels out any endurance she could have had. Yeah, she is unfortunately giving up. And, Rebecca decided to reassure her, which is nice, although I don't think she's gonna want to be rescued. I'm gonna get away for a second. No, it looks like she's going after Ada, it looks like. Oh, one of my teammates has open-handed, so my range is exceptionally long. That's unfortunate. Yeah, even in situations like this, like, I will show gameplay of just me losing matches, Specifically because, like, I think it just gets tiring seeing gameplay of people where they only win, because sometimes you just eat shit and lose. And that's just how it is in this game. And I'll just have to vault this, which gives me free distance, thankfully. I'm gonna have to make my way back to Shack, because I still have God pallet up. Or the Shack pallet. I think she's just gonna be able to make distance on me, unfortunately. Especially if I get scanned, but I don't. A little crazy. I will just drop Shack. Because I'm trying to delay her getting a hit on me as long as I can. And she leaves me. Or she's near me? Okay, she lost me for a second. Trying to identify any pallets I might have. It looks like it's mostly windows. Really, you're pathing like that. Oh, excuse me. Alright, let me try to stay far away from generators so that... I don't think I get anything here, especially if I don't have any pallets. I'll just die on the edge of the map, I guess. Far corner, fuck it. Hello! Perfect. That was a long chase, even though I didn't really, like, loop her. Which means we get 2 gens done, hopefully. Especially because I took her far away, so hopefully there wasn't any, surge. Although in reality it could be that she has eruption. Although it's starting to look more and more like I don't think we'll be able to get any, escapes, which is fine, honestly. Alright, unfortunately Skull Merchant is here, so we gotta run. Oh no, I'm being tunneled. Very good. Yeah, she's winning out. Excuse me, Adam. Again, this is another moment where, I wish, somebody had borrowed time. I'll just leave that there. Which forced her to break, so I'm just gonna try to drag her across the other side of the map. I don't think I get to anything before the pier, so I'll just use the hill here to get distance. And again, I'll just run her all the way to the opposite corner of the map. We get Poglog! Which, with me vaulting, unfortunately causes that to become blocked. Using the longer side of this. Yeah, you can have that. That's yours. Oh no! I'm kind of just trying to make her waste as much of her time on me as she can. Woo! Okay, that was really good. I think I get broken here. Yep. That's fine. I even get deep wounded. Wow. And then I get hindered. Which, at this point, is fine. I'm just trying to stay away. And Adam has that generator that was really close to being done at Pier, so hopefully he can finish it. Unless she decides to make her way to Pier. Or she'll just hover around me, it looks like. Adam, hear my beams! Oh my god, she took a health state with, she shouldered my burden, oh my god. Yeah, I just have to keep an eye on everything. Hopefully I can finish this in time. I have not seen anybody shoulder my burden in Soloq in forever. I'm gonna try to finish this and then I'll have to rescue, Rebecca. Okay, complete that. It looks like she's gonna hover around her hook. Yeah, she's going after Adam. I'm just gonna pull Rebecca now with my borrowed time. And then I'll just run to far side. Like, at this point, it doesn't matter if I live or die, like, genuinely. Like, at this point, I'm trying to just stay, alive. I don't think I have anything here. Unless I do? I do. This is the second no-end killer! Oh my goodness. They're just gonna have to leave, I think. Because it's swamp, there's honestly horrible, like, totem spawns here. They're just gonna have to leave. Which is honestly fine. Considering we had someone, like, completely give up. Is she hovering? Yeah, no, she's hovering near me. I was gonna, like, check to look for her. Now she's, like, worried that I'm gonna get pallet saved. I just wanna beam to these two survivors. Leave! Leave! Although if she's not near me, I could start crawling. Yeah, she's just completely hovering over my body, unfortunately. They're just looking for the totem right now. Now she's wondering where my body went. Yeah, she lost my body. I might be able to just crawl out. Especially if she's on Adam. And hopefully Adam maybe has deli, or deliverance rather. I don't think we're gonna have enough time to find anything. Yeah, it looks like he's trying to 4%. Unfortunately, we're just gonna have to leave since we can't find the totem. Oh my lord. Yeah, we're just gonna have to leave. Oh my goodness. I wonder what build, like, Skull Merchant had, because I didn't notice anything, so maybe Eruption and, well, no one at the end. So it was Surge. And Oppression, that's really interesting. Oh yeah, and she did have Corrupt at the beginning, that's so weird. So the final thoughts I want to make on this video is that if you're in solo queue, you know, try to identify locations that you can run yourself to, you know, identify resources, like, you know, try to identify pallets, like there's a tile there, there's this harvester here, which is very good for my perk for Balanced Landing, and make the effort to try not to care too much about whether or not you escape or not in DBD, unless you're going for, like, specific achievements or, you know, for the killer side at the very least, whether or not you go for the 4K or not, again, if you go for specific achievements. Like, for example, you know, there's Adept, Killer, and Survivor achievements where, in the example that I'm mentioning here, you know, 4K is a killer with their teachable perks to get the achievement, or Escape as a specified survivor with their teachable perks to get their achievement. Like, that's the only time you should ever worry about whether or not you, like, escape, or if you 4K. And, like, you know, try not to have, like, a quote-unquote bad mentality when playing against, you know, particular killers. Like, sure, you can have, like, play styles that you're not, like, you know, enjoying, or, you know, perks that you hate going against, or killer powers you hate going against, and there's, you know, all these other situations that, you know, you can have. Actually, I'm gonna stop this generator over here from regressing, because I know it started regressing. You know, I'll make sure to link the website down below, but there is a content creator by the name of Hens333 who has a, basically the entire list of every single realm and map in Dead by Daylight available to look at, so that you can better understand, like, the shape of maps, and, you know, the sizing of maps, and common tiles, and locations of, you know, loops, and so on and so forth. And try to keep a mental map of where generators are completed or not. Like, for example, Hattie, I think, is still on her generator near Shack, and that completes, actually no, she was at the one near Harvester, so that generator is completed. If the killer, who, from what I've seen so far, has Jolt, or perhaps has Pain Resonance, you would run away. Yeah, he has Pain Resonance, or Jolt rather. You would run away from generators that are being worked on, which is what Bond is for, because Bond can see survivor auras from 32 meters away. No, Hattie, I will make it. So make sure to try to keep like a thought out. Like, so for very common points of like location would be shack, which is on every map in Dead by Daylight, and main building, which is on a lot of maps in Dead by Daylight. So if you're on, so try to keep a central idea of where, you know, shack is at, and then you'll be able to sort of keep that as like your pinned location of orienting yourself. And a lot of the time shack building is oriented in a way that is at the corner of most maps, and then there's some maps that have shack in the middle of the map that they're on. With that in mind, like, again, just try not to care too much about whether or not you escape or don't. And try to be altruistic for your teammates. So I'm gonna try to die on top of Vittorio so that Freddy is forced to pick me up. Perfect, and so Vittorio can get picked up now. I hope my teammates understand that Vittorio can be picked up right now. Go, my friends, pick him up! No, don't unhook me! We should have picked up Vittorio! Oh my goodness! Oh, that's unfortunate, excuse me. Hi. Oh, I'm so sad. I wish they picked up Vittorio. That was literally my whole plan. I guess they didn't know that it was possible. But again, like, you know, especially in matches like this where things seem to go wrong, like, a lot of the time, especially now that I'm being put into the basement, you know, never care too much about, like, whether or not you escape or you 4 out the killer or, you know, any of that stuff. Just care about making sure that you and your teammates last as long as possible in a game. Because sometimes just, you know, being able to endure these matches is more than enough to make sure that, you know, at least one person escapes. But also another good way to play DBD is to not rely on perks that are like high risk, high reward. Well, you might as well. Yeah, I'm dead, unfortunately. Oh well. And also, like, you know, don't be so invested in your matches that, like, you get angry at your teammates. Try to self-improve as much as you can, you know, in this game. Because, you know, sure, you know, some people are like, oh, you know, I turn my brain off when I play Dead by Daylight, and that's fine. But also, you know, make the tiniest bit of effort to care about your teammates and to care about your own actions in the game. Because there are direct actions, like, for example, with me making sure I was down on top of Vittorio so that I got picked up instead of him. But because his pickup was only 99, none of the other teammates made the effort to actually go pick him up, and instead Hattie decided to go unhook me rather than trying to pick up Vittorio, which would have given him another chance to then keep running. And, you know, maybe they didn't know, and I have to give the benefit of the doubt that maybe these survivors just don't know. And that's okay. But my final thoughts on all of this is just, don't care too much about whether or not you win or escape, especially if you're first starting out playing DBD. Just care about getting better for your teammates. If anything, if you don't want to get better for yourself, get better for your teammates, because the survivor role is a team-based role. It's for strangers doing everything they can to surpass or surmount the challenge of a killer player making every effort they can to prevent any of you from escaping. And, you know, again, try to keep a mental map of where generators are completed or not, and, you know, while you're on a generator, and again, keep an eye out of your surroundings, and try to pre-plan pre-plan a path, and make note of where pallets are at, make note of where windows are at. If you have very specific perks, such as, you know, balanced landing, make note of hills, of drop-down areas where you could get your value out of these perks. and, you know, to give yourself distancing. And again, try not to worry about, you know, using items at first because, you know, you're probably going to run out of them if you try to use them every match. But, you know, just again, try to be there for your teammates, try to be there for yourself, even. And honestly, sometimes it's best to understand when a situation is messed up, but also don't be afraid to ask like more experienced players how to become better. And again, that's just it for the most part. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed me showcasing my thought process behind being, you know, a 5,000 hour Dead by Daylight player in Survivor Soloq. Make sure to subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed watching today. I'll be making a killer version of this at some point. I will be playing one of the very first killers that's free for everybody. Whoops. And I'll see you next time. Thank you, and goodbye.